Alright. It's another video about the EU because this stuff's getting on my nerves. So there's a video by a man called Dan McCarthy. He's a YouTube channel, doesn't have any subscribers, but he does have a lot of views on this one video called 6 Reasons Why Star Wars Expanded Universe is Garbage. Oh my bad, Disney's Star Wars Expanded Universe is garbage. And so he goes on and talks about and basically praises the old EU and compares it to the new EU and says that the new EU is just completely garbage and all this just crap about Disney's EU. So we're going to talk about Disney's EU versus the old EU. And I'm not going to go over specific points, but I'm just going to, of course, give you my opinion on it and my facts, because there are facts to this that you need to understand. Was the old EU good? Well, yes, kind of. It had its moments. It was pretty decent, but there were some things that weren't that good. And people praise it and people hate it. I mean, there's some good things about it that I really do like, but there's also, people are like, oh, there's a lot of original stories in there, blah, 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 but there's also a lot of overpowered people. You look at Starkiller, he was overpowered. You look at Luke, Jesus Christ, that kid was overpowered later on. And you look at, there's a thing called the Mother, Abeloth and whatnot. She is an exact copy of Naruto's mother. If you ever watch Naruto the series, there's a character in there called the Mother. Both are literally the Mother, and both have the exact same bullshit powers. And it's just kind of to think about, So there's stuff like that, and he was in the video. Dan's like, well, a lot of it didn't contradict each other. Star Wars, the Clone Wars should be non-canon because, it was going up with a lot of EU stuff. Well, that's not true because Barriss Offee, that's how you say her last name, in the EU, she died, I think, in the comic books by, like, Order 66 with her master, but in the Clone Wars series, she was, she was in the prison and whatnot. She got arrested and crap like that. Did she die? I can't remember. I don't know. I haven't seen it in a while, but still. So he just goes on and complains about Disney, and it kind of made me mad. That's why I'm making this video, because it's like, you people are really making Disney's EU seem bad when it's not bad at all, because it's got a lot of the same writers from, the old EU. There's writers coming back to make it, and then he's saying it's a clusterfuck. There's so many. Well, yeah, but there's a lot more in the old EU as well. And he said, in the stories are just garbage and whatnot. It's going to take forever to make it good. Well, you people do realize that the old EU started like in the 80s, right? Like the Thrawn trilogy came out way back when. I don't even remember when it came out, but definitely before I was born. And all this stuff came out, and yes, they were good, but believe it or not, guys, this is going to be a spoiler to all of you. The old EU was never canon. Believe it or not, I didn't really realize this till about a month ago. The old EU has never been canon. Never once has it ever been canon. So you guys bitching and complaining saying, oh, how dare they make it non-canon? Well, it wasn't canon in the first place. Look at what George Lucas has said about it. He specifically said that, if you're looking at it on the video right here, I can't look at it right now, I'm busy, and actually I'll see if I can bring it up, but, I mean, he's literally saying, I do not read that stuff. I haven't read any of the novels. He said, I don't know anything about that world. That's a different world than my world. But I do try to keep it consistent. The way I do it now is they have a Star Wars encyclopedia. So if I come up with a name or something else, I look it up and see if it already has been used. When I said other people could make their own Star Wars stories, we decided that, like Star Trek, we would have 2 universes, my universe and then this other one. Then they tried to make their universe as consistent with mine as possible, but obviously they get enthusiastic and want to go off in another direction. And he also said, it's not in the video, but it says, I do believe he likes some aspects and dislikes others and whatnot. It's just, you people are acting like the EU was canon, but George Lucas literally said they're 2 complete separate universes. And that's good, and that makes a lot of sense. Because the guy in the video, Dan, was talking about how, oh, Dash Rendar, whatever the hell his name is, his ship was in the new special edition of the originals, and now that he's non-canon, who's driving that ship? Now is it flying itself? I'm like, are you fucking retarded, dude? Are you going to say that about every ship? Do we need a backstory on every ship? Because that's what he's making it out to seem. We don't need a backstory on every ship. You don't know who drives every ship. And honestly, if you're caring that much about a little ship, go read the fucking book and play the game, and then have your own fun. Just because something's not canon does not mean you cannot enjoy it. People write fan fictions all the time, no matter how crazy and stupid they are. So enjoy the EU for what it is, and it's now Legends. Just read it, enjoy it, and live it. I mean, just because it's non-canon doesn't mean anything because it never was canon. Star Wars is a big and vast universe and it is beautiful. So if you want to pretend you're a Jedi or a Sith, go do that. That's what these writers did. They made their own stories so you can enjoy them. And if you enjoy them, then that's all that matters. You do not have to sit here and complain, oh, it's not canon, it's not canon. How dare Disney do this? And, you know, he said it's stupid to ask for a fresh start. They could have gone back and pinpoint what they want. That's very hard to do. Disney is bringing back old EU stuff into the new EU. They're making it officially canon because the old stuff wasn't even canon. So they're actually doing you a favor because Thrawn was never canon. Now he is. Never once has Thrawn been canon. So give Disney the credit they deserve. They're really trying to do their best, in my opinion. I'm not even a huge Disney fanboy. That's what's amazing about all this, is that I'm looking at this and I'm going, why are you people complaining over the dumbest stuff? So hear me out, people. Enjoy EU, because the new stuff, the new canon stuff is good. Disney's EU is pretty alright. I mean, there's not a lot of good stuff yet, in my opinion. You know, I've read some of the books and they're okay, but just let them work on it. The old EU has never been canon and never will be, and definitely now won't be. But they're bringing the stories that you like from there. Some of them's coming right on over here. So you can't really complain that, oh my god, you know, all the old EU stuff's dead, when they're really trying to bring back some of the stuff over here. They're unoriginal. No, they're bringing some old stories back on over. Yes, the Old Republic is good, you know, the video game was amazing, but like I've said, a lot of those guys were overpowered. I mean, look at these Star Wars The Old Republic trailers and all the video games and all that stuff. Those people were really overpowered. I don't want that in Star Wars. I want it to be realistic in the Star Wars universe, not OP like Starkiller. So, but yeah, you know, you get my point. So comment your thoughts below. Do you like the new Disney EU? Do you miss the old EU that was never even canon? Are you surprised that this stuff was never canon? Just comment your thoughts below because I know you will. Comment, hate, subscribe because I know a lot of you fuckers just hate me now. I'm Star Wars Only. May the Force be with you, always.